there's a legendary football coach who probably remembers this song, Mike Tomlin, that has overstayed his time in Pittsburgh. And once you overstay as a football coach, when you're coached somewhere for 20 years and you've overstayed and now your team's not winning playoff games since 2016, now no one cares that you haven't had a losing record throughout your entire coaching career. You've overstayed. Big Ben left, and the Steelers winning and being a threat has left, and now the Steelers are 6-6 this season in a year where the Baltimore Ravens lost Lamar Jackson for a time, the Cincinnati Bengals lost Joe Burrow for a time, and you're sitting there in your division, 6-6, tied with the Baltimore Ravens. The best teams in your division have lost their quarterbacks for some time. You go all in on Aaron Rodgers, and it's a flop. And people have had it up to here. And this weekend, you lose a game, and the fans in Pittsburgh, they don't care that you won a Super Bowl your second or third year in the National Football League. They don't care that you went back to the Super Bowl a short time later. They care about what's gone on in the last decade. No playoff victories, a lot of mediocre 9-8, 8-8 football teams. No one cares anymore. And now that people want you out, and now that you're in this protected class, you're a black head coach playing for the Rooneys, whose name is on the Rooney Rule, which gives black coaches a leg up, an unfair advantage in coaching searches. When you're playing for a franchise that was one of the original adopters of identity as over merit, diversity, equity, and inclusion over merit, and your fan base just wants to win Super Bowls. Your fan base just wants to win playoff games. Your fan base wants something new because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, it's been 67 or something, an incredible number of games in a row, 62, 67 games in a row, scoring 7 points or less in the first quarter. And that sounds like an arbitrary stat, but what it means, teams that score in the first quarter, that, consistently, hey, they put up 10, 12, they average 9 points, two scores in the first quarter. That's an indication of like, man, you came in with a superior game plan than your opponent. In all three phases, from offense, this isn't just an offensive stat. It says something about your defense. It says something about your special teams. It says something about your game plan. Can you get off to a quick start and get a quick advantage? You're one of the greatest coaches, allegedly, of all time. And your team consistently gets off to a slow start. This is some sort of record. How many ever straight games it is, 60, 70 games, scoring 7 points or less in the first quarter. People have had it with Mike Tomlin. He's stayed too long. You move on. You've built a great reputation in Pittsburgh. You've won a Super Bowl. You've lost a Super Bowl. Your reputation. After about 15 years, you move on. Mike Tomlin has overstayed his time in Pittsburgh, and that's how rumors get started. And he's being inundated with rumors. No different than, and Bill Cowher didn't stay too long, but he stayed too long. And when Bill Cowher left, there were rumors about Bill Cowher, pervasive over the internet and over talk radio and everywhere, about his personal life. This is how rumors get started. Mike Tomlin right now is being inundated with rumors about his personal life. I've seen this before in Kansas City. Marty Schottenheimer gets to Kansas City, I believe, in 1990, maybe, 1989. He and Carl Peterson come. Carl Peterson hires him. And Marty Schottenheimer leaves Cleveland, comes to Kansas City, and is a super successful coach in Kansas City for about a decade. But he cannot make it to the Super Bowl. And I got to Kansas City in 1994. That was the last year of Joe Montana in the NFL and as the Chiefs quarterback. Joe Montana got there in 1993. I got there in 1994. People, Montana era, oh, they're going to win a Super Bowl. They brought in Joe Montana. This is the peak of the Marty Schottenheimer era in Kansas City. It doesn't happen with Joe Montana. And then they give Marty about 4 or 5 more years. Or was 3 or 4 more years. If Joe leaves in 94, Marty got fired in 1998. Is that 5 years, I think? He got 5 more seasons. By 1998, and they had built a team in 1998, they signed Chester McLaughlin. They had this, what I called a dream team defense. Derek Thomas, Chester McLaughlin, all these, I think James Hasty was still there. Dale Carter, I believe, was still there. And everybody, including me, I was running around in 1998 because the Chiefs in 97 went 13-3. And now they've added to their defense. And I'm like, hey, the Chiefs are going 16-0. They just went 13-3, and now they've built this incredible defense. They signed Chester McLaughlin. And it's going to put them over the top. And their defense, no one's going to score on the Chiefs' defense. It's going to be incredible. Chiefs lost their first game of the season. It ended up embarrassing themselves on Monday Night Football, the Monday Night Meltdown against the Denver Broncos, where Shannon Sharp baited Derek Thomas into getting thrown out of the game. And here's what I can tell you about once this 98 season started out in embarrassing fashion, and it looks like, holy cow, and I think they ended up going 7-9 that year, or 8-8, something 7-9, I believe, that year. And once that thing hit the iceberg, rumors about Marty Schottenheimer were everywhere. Everywhere. There was a bartender that worked at the bar across the street from my house, Tanner's South. Anybody in Kansas City remembers this? And there were rumors that Marty Schottenheimer had impregnated the bartender at Tanner's South. I knew the young lady. I knew her friends. This was the conversation all over Kansas City. How do rumors get started? They're started by disappointed football fans. The insinuations about Marty Schottenheimer, I believe, happened to be true. Again, I knew the young lady. I knew her best friends even better. We talked. There was legitimacy, according to them, to these rumors. But Marty Schottenheimer had to step away and resign. When a coach can't get his team to the Super Bowl, when the expectations from the fan base are high every year because you have this great coach and you believe you have this team and you just signed Aaron Rodgers and you traded for Jalen Ramsey and you gave TJ Watt a huge contract and you got Cam Ward, who's a Hall of Famer. When those expectations reach that high and it's year after year after year and you don't meet those expectations, that's how rumors get started. And again, I saw this at the end of Bill Cowher in Pittsburgh, rumors about his personal life. Same thing is happening with Mike Tomlin. There's a pattern here. Mike Tomlin has stayed too long.